Well, hello, 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 everybody, and welcome to Get Seen, Get Paid, Three Secrets to Create a Waiting List of Clients. I'm so happy that you're here today, and I've got a lot of great information to share with you. So pop a yes in the chat if you're ready to increase your income. Okay, good. Pop a yes in the chat if you're ready to attract more aligned clients to you. Yes, 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 you're in the right room. And type a yes if you sense there's something holding you back from getting to your next level, but you can't really identify it. Yep. Well, you know that even if you shift 1% today, that's a great start. And I'm glad you're here. I want to make sure that you get the most you can out of this training today. So I invite you to play full out, participate in the chat, take notes, lean in. And I will be looking at your questions later on. So if there's anything that comes up afterwards, I'll take a look at that and I'll be able to answer it. So before we get started, grab a pen and some paper, and please do take the time to turn off your cell phones. I know. It's hard to do that, but there was a time when we didn't have them on all the time. And those little pings can be very distracting. Great, great. And now one more piece of housekeeping, just get up out of your chair, go over and slide the dresser in front of the door to keep out your pets, your kids, your husband, and your partners. And this way you can be totally focused. We have this much material today and this much time. And most of you have already taken courses and learned strategies, but I'm guessing you're not seeing the results that you were hoping for in your business and maybe in your life. And maybe you have a sense that there's something else holding you back, but you can't quite name it. And if you're feeling that way, you're not alone. And if you're feeling annoyed at your progress or that you're not moving fast enough, or maybe even doubting yourself, some of you might be thinking about throwing in the towel because you're feeling tired and frustrated or beating yourself up. It's because some part of you is out of alignment. And so we're going to look at that today as well. This masterclass is for women who are feeling like they're doing everything right and their business is just not creating the results they were hoping for. In other words, if you are in a season of rest and recovery, that is beautiful. And I encourage you to take care of yourself. But you do not need to be on this webinar. This is not for you. This is for women who are fast action takers, who want to move forward and make it go. And they want it yesterday. So if you want to grow, stay tuned. Here's the truth. You don't really need more information. You don't need another certification. You need alignment. Because when your income doesn't match your capability, it's rarely a strategy issue. It's all about that inner game. And it means there's a gap between your current inner state and your vision. Your inner world and outer world, they're on different planes. And what we need to do is get them level so they're each communicating with each other. And this, if it's not happening, it's not your fault. You're not doing something wrong. It just means there's some internal wiring that we need to rewire. And today we're going to address that wiring. By the end of the session, you'll see the secret influence capping your income. You'll know what you need to do to attract aligned clients, and you'll understand the secret sauce that will increase your income and support your life in general. No matter how great things are, can we agree that it's okay for room to have more good? Yes, yes, yes. Okay, good. Pop a yes if you're with me. Great, great. I love seeing all those yeses because, there's no limit to how far we can go with all of this. You know, these days I wake up feeling a deep sense of joy that what I'm doing is in alignment with my heart and soul. I start my mornings with meditation. I grab my husband for a walk along the beach, and I will generally go to the rowing house to do some rowing next to the canals. I'm an award-winning business strategist, a best-selling author, and I've run a global networking group for women. I've spoken in corporations, spiritual centers, and even in jungles. And I'm blessed to work with ambitious, sensitive, and gifted women all over the world. But my life wasn't always this way. Once upon a time, I was working at my dream job in Hollywood with my dream boss. I used to work in what's called story development. So I would find the scripts, read the books, turn them into treatments, turn it around and sell it to sometimes packaged talent. And I work with some pretty high level celebrities. And I would turn around and sell that to Disney or Warner Brothers. And that was what I did. And I loved what I was doing. And 6 months into, the best job I thought I'd ever had, my awesome boss, who was more like a brother, was fired. And it was traumatic. I'm not going to lie, and I was directed to step into his role. So when I did that, I asked for the title and the salary to match, and we had to go back and forth. And finally, they reluctantly gave me about a third of what he was making, and they bumped my title up, but it wasn't the same one that he had. And I just took it because it wasn't because I didn't think I was capable, but because somewhere inside of me, I just didn't believe that I was enough yet. And, maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you didn't have your boss fired, but can you relate to being in a position where you had to take on more responsibility without getting more money to compensate you for your work and what you were doing? That decision where I chose to stay there cost me more than money in the end because to prove I was enough, I went into doing mode. I wanted that title, I wanted that recognition. So I went from a 40-hour week to a 70-hour week. And after 8 months of constant overdrive, my body just started like shutting down. I started falling asleep on my little sofa where I was reading those scripts, and my little naps turned into longer and longer naps. And we discovered that I had a constant fever, and eventually we discovered that I had a very elevated white blood cell count. And after a lot of testing, the doctors really couldn't figure out what was causing it. And I had to quit. So I was basically told to go home and sleep until I felt better. Um, but what I realized later was it really wasn't exhaustion that wasn't the problem. It was an energetic overload. And also I was completely out of touch with my feelings and my body. So part of my journey, I learned that our bodies are communicating to us all the time, but most of us don't know how to listen or interpret those signals. And I realized my internal wiring wasn't in sync with my soul or my goals, where I really needed to be. So taking me out of Hollywood was my soul's way of moving me on a different path. And later I could see that as a blessing. But at the time, it cost me my confidence. It cost me, financially. And it was a very, very tough time for me emotionally because I went from this powerhouse to feeling so completely weak and helpless. But coming here now and being able to help the women I help, serving women who want greater financial independence and help them be heard and seen and live their purpose and helping them rise to new levels of possibility in their life is really my true calling. And so I look back now and I can see it as a gift that what happened to me was a good thing. But part of what I learned in my healing process was how important it is to have energetic coherence. Because when your internal wiring is out of sync with what's going on, it can shut you down physically and cap your income. So most women try to fix income ceilings with more marketing, more visibility tactics, better messaging, or doing what I did, which is just working harder. If strategy and effort alone solve this, you would already be getting paid what you're truly worth and have your fill of awesome clients. The problem is not lack of effort, it's internal and emotional wiring and learning to listen and understand your body's language. This was pivotal in helping me heal, but it also has been the thread that has grown my business and helped my clients. On my journey, I ended up getting certified in over 20 modalities, including